candidates. Well, liberals not the only ones against Paul Ryan's plan. Ron Paul also not a fan, not because it goes too far, but because the presidential candidate says it doesn't go far enough. He joins it right now. Congressman, you don't like this because it's tepid. What do you mean?
Well, it doesn't cut anything of substance. The debt is going to continue to go up. There's not any one agency that's going to be removed. And the goal is to maybe balance the budget in 30 years.
That's right. You mentioned a brilliant point, Congressman, as you often do here, that the debt goes up. I mean, people think we're at best curtailing the growth of the debt. This is the most ambitious of the announced plans out of Washington. I know yours is fairly aggressive as a presidential candidate. But best it does is slow the rate of growth down. But it means at the end of 10 years, we're going to still have about $4 trillion more debt under the best assumptions. So what do we do? What do we do?
Well, first we have to recognize and admit that we're in the middle of a debt crisis. Keynesianism teaches that debt isn't a problem. If you're in trouble, you get more debt and you spend more money. So that's their philosophy versus that of some of us who think that isn't the problem. We're spending too much money. That is the government spending too much money, and we want the people to spend that more money. So if it's a debt crisis, you can't solve this problem by pretending that you might balance the budget in 30 years. I think we dwell on the budget, and I think it's important, but to me, it's a problem of what the people think the role of government ought to be. See, Paul, who I think he's very sincere, and his budget is obviously better than Obama's, but he said that he's being brave to cut these sacrosanct social programs. But he adds money to the militarism overseas, to the warmongering going on. They won't touch that. And in my program, matter of fact, I address that first. I want to get home so that you don't have to attack child health care or Medicare, even though those programs are bankrupt. You have to deal with them. But even in my first year of cutting $1 trillion, I don't touch that stuff, mainly to make the point.
But think of it, Congressman. Look at the wrath that Paul Ryan is getting for a plan that, compared to yours, is mild. And let's say you become president. Boy, hell is going to blow up.
I think I would have a lot less wrath because the progressives would like it. I'm not going after the benefits, the Medicare. I'm not doing that initially. That comes, on the way out. But I would cut the money that they're screaming about is this overseas militarism. So the progressives, would support me on this. And if you're a reasonable conservative, you would support me too, because you would know that deficits are bad and you don't get more defense just by spending more money in the military. And we're winning that argument.
Congress, it sounds to me like your only distinction is you would be a more fair and balanced agitator. In other words, you'd get Republicans annoyed, you get Democrats annoyed, but I still think you're going to get a lot of people annoyed, right?
I see people coming together because those who are tired of the wars, and that's more and more, 60-some% of the people now want to come home from Afghanistan. And we're winning that argument that we don't need to be the policemen of the world and we can't afford it. Right. So why not cut there? That to me, when I'm speaking to the crowds, this makes sense to them. They say, yeah, why are we spending so much money overseas? And why should we have to go after initially some of these programs? So I think the Republicans, lose the political argument immediately because the Democrats are beating up on them right now, and they say, oh yeah, we want more weapons, but we're going to deny the elderly for their health care.
Okay. Ron Paul, I could spend a half hour with you, maybe soon again. Always good having you, sir. Thank you.
Thanks.